Hi, I'm Georgette.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Susan.
And you're watching
Word of Mouth.
You see the polls?
What happened to Never Say Die?
I saw the polls.
You saw the polls. How bad can my numbers be?
You broke the machine.
Today we saw November, and the V in November is a big check mark, like for voting.
It is about a president, played by Nathan Lane, in the very waning days of his presidency.
And he doesn't want to leave office. And he's willing to do just about anything to stay.
Basically the story of a president who has apparently screwed everything up that he's ever touched, and he's going to be reelected in a few days, or not reelected in a few days.
He was an awful president. He seems to have no shot at re-election, and some last-minute maneuvers that he makes in connection with pardoning a turkey on Thanksgiving.
November is a political satire, I guess you would say.
What's funny to me is that thinking of the president in the confines of the Oval Office speaking just like everyone else, that's what makes it the funniest thing, because president is a person just like anybody else. Just because he's the president doesn't mean he doesn't say foul words. And this president says enough for everyone.
The two other main characters are his speechwriter, who's played by Laurie Metcalf, and his chief counsel, his chief lawyer, who's played by Dylan Baker.
Everyone in the cast is phenomenal. The Indian scared me half to death. I've never seen a man that tall on a stage. He was great.
I thought Laurie Metcalf was really good. I thought she had a really incredible moment toward the end of the first act where she kind of articulates a vision that the president could articulate in a speech. And like that's the only moment where you really feel like there's something important and meaningful happening on stage.
Laurie Metcalf was very good. One of the problems, I think, with casting Nathan Lane is he's the whole show. And he's, 60% of the dialogue. I mean, he really is the whole show. She was very good at her role, but go for him. And he was great. He's worth going for.
Even when he's not saying words, Nathan Lane has a face that gives expressions. He doesn't have to speak. He rolls his eyes better than anyone I have ever seen. Oh, and the eyes go.
I thought it was a very funny switch for him to be playing a David Mamet role, because I don't necessarily think of the two of them going together. I think Nathan Lane is all about shtick, and David Mamet is no shtick at all.
Well, I don't know what he wrote before, but this definitely is funny. Definitely. Whatever he does, you should do it more.
It was funny. It was funny because Nathan Lane's in it. So, I mean, if you're somebody who enjoys Nathan Lane, then you should know that Nathan Lane is in this play. I mean, personally, I kind of find it exhausting to watch Nathan Lane on stage. It makes me tired.
There's also something very funny about all of the gay jokes and having Nathan Lane tell them. We've all seen The Birdcage and so much else that Nathan Lane has been in over the years, and now to see him as a gay-bashing president, there's something very funny about that.
I can't say enough about it. It just was funny, funny, funny from the minute you sit down. I think the first word out of his mouth is funny, and the last. It just doesn't stop.
I liked it. It was a little one note, which surprised me. I typically expect David Mamet productions to have more to say and to be operating on a bunch of different cylinders. And although there were a few different issues here, I found it superficial, but very funny.
A lot of it indicates not that it's Bush, but that lying goes on in the White House. And, when I was a kid, I wanted to believe, I grew up in the Kennedy era, so I believed in fairy tales and Camelot. It was disappointing as an adult to find out that that's not the way it is, but it is the way it is.
I think the thing about satire for me is that there needs to be something really kind of sharp, and either sharp and topical or sharp and kind of incisive about what's going on. And it just didn't seem to me to be, you could argue that maybe we have a president right now that has screwed everything up. I mean, there are a lot of people who feel that way, but he's not up for re-election. There weren't really any jokes in this satire that kind of had any kind of, real truth behind them in a way, and it just didn't work for me.
I liked it. But don't go expecting to have a lot to talk about for the foreseeable future. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's Glengarry Glen Ross. This is very funny, but there isn't, to me, there wasn't a lot of bedrock under the humor.
A National Association of Turkey Manufacturers.
What did they want?
To pardon their turkey.
What did it do?
It's a promotional thing.
And now they want me, these fucking turkey people, to pardon their turkey.
They want you to come out.
To come out where?
In the ante room.
Why?
The turkeys want to smell your hand.